person here today. No? Oh,
Just not here for a while.
okay. Welcome. So would you join me in consciousness for an opening treatment? So just get comfortable wherever you are and take a deep breath. And just leave all your concerns outside the front door and be here in this moment. The I of whom I speak is you when I say, there is one spirit here, and I am one with it. One spirit in this room, one power, one presence, all-knowing, right here, right now. And I know I'm one with it, because God is, and God is all there is, and I am one with this unlimited power. And I am a perfect pattern for the divine. I have been created with this perfect pattern, so I am healthy, healed, vibrant, whole. I am perfect health, and this pattern within me is also perfect prosperity. My source is unlimited, so I am unlimited. I have money to share and money to spare. And I am creative. The universe is creating. It's creating every moment. It is evolving and creating, and I'm one with it, so I am creating with my words and my actions. I give gratitude for this amazing creativity. And God is love, so I am love. I am lovable, loving. I accept love, I give love. I'm worthy of love. For this I give great gratitude. I know my word is spoken, is acted upon, so I release, I let go. I know it is so, and together we say, so it is.
Grab your coat, get your hat, leave your worries on the doorstep. Yeah, sing with me.
Morning.
I am Reverend Amadra, and this is Lucille Parks. How are you? Thank you, Lucille. I want to welcome each and every one of you this morning to Center for Spiritual Living in Carlsbad, California. We are here today because we understand that there is one power in the universe for good, and we can use it. The mission of this center is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. I'd like to invite Ellen up to assist me in a ceremony that we engage in each Sunday, candle lighting ceremony, the Flames of Faith. It's a simple way to remind ourselves of the divinity and the underlying spiritual unity of all people everywhere. So we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the path of harmony and equilibrium. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of recognizing Allah as a great creator and sustainer of life. And finally, I invite you to join with me now as we take a moment to recognize the inner light that is always shining within, as we honor all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Ellen. If this is your first time visiting the center, I want to extend a special welcome. And if you're returning after being away for a long time, I want to say welcome to you also. Be sure to join us after service for fellowship and meet a few people and talk about what's going on here at the center. At the welcome table outside, you will also can fill out a prayer request. This is for anyone. And put it in our prayer box, and we will treat for you for the entire week. We send out your treatments to the team, and the team actually treats for you for the entire week. We are blessed at the center to have a team of ministers and practitioners that offer what we call spiritual mind treatment, which is an affirmative prayer. That is our gift to you on Sundays. And I would like to just invite those practitioners or ministers who are available to provide affirmative prayer spiritual treatment after service, if you would stand so everyone would know who you are. Thank you. So after service, if you would like in-person prayer, we have 4 people available for you today. We have chairs that are set up here and here so that you can sit with a practitioner and they will actually pray for you. I want to share a couple of other announcements, but please, I would ask you right now to check your cell phone. I did remember to check mine, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say masks are welcome here at the center. And let's try to not give each other hugs. It's hard, I know, or handshakes, because we're a huggy community. But we want everybody to feel comfortable here. Don't forget that the parking lot is locked after service, because sometimes we want to go out with each other to lunch, and that's perfectly fine. Just remember to move your car and put it on the street so it doesn't get locked up in the parking lot. And I want to continue on with the announcement. So Reverend Maurene is asking everyone to bring in your used books. Because you know, we have all these books sitting around at the house. We've read them and we're not going to read them, and they're gathering dust, so you don't want to dust them. Bring them here. And we can put them in the bookstore and share them with each other. Also, you can sign up for permanent name tags out on the table in the front. We're going to be having permanent name tags for each of us. That's really awesome. Then that way, each week we don't have to recreate our names on the paper. So right now, I would like to give thanks for those special individuals who come in and provide services here for the center, because the center is run by a team. It's not run by just the ministers or the practitioners. So I would like to thank Ruth Ann for these awesome, awesome flowers out of her garden. Okay, these are out of her garden. I want to come to your house.
Yes.
I want to thank Margie for the refreshments this morning. Thank you. And Robert Brown for being our greeter today. And practitioner. Oh my goodness. Robert, you're down here for greeter, the video recorder, and the reader.
Wow.
You're multitasking this morning.
Be
Thank
without
you.
you.
If you are interested in helping us out, please sign up. Because like I said, it's a team that runs the center, and we can use you in some capacity. You have a talent, you have a gift. Let's share it with each other. Now, next week, not now, we are holding classes and workshops that are going to be in this room after fellowship. And we're holding the classes in this room because it's really breezy, it's large, and our office on Jefferson Street is kind of small. So we're having them here. And so far, the workshops have been going great with Reverend Maurene and Reverend Kate. But now they're thinking about, in mid-September, they want to start offering accredited courses in science of mind. But we need to know how many people are interested in signing up. The classes will look like they will be on Thursday nights, and they actually are going to be on Zoom at 6 p.m. So if you are interested in participating in one of the accredited courses for Science of the Mind, I would invite you to sign up. Okay, and actually you can also sign up if you are interested in taking it here at the church. So you can sign up and let us know if you want to do it on Thursday, on Zoom, or if you would prefer to do it here after worship at 11:30. Is that correct? Okay. And I just want to say, if you're like me, you took the courses, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, well, you don't forget, So I would just say, take it again. Just to be inside of that conversation, and our lives change. Things happen. So what you read 30 years ago, I know will not resonate the same way that it's going to resonate today. So I invite you to sign up. So now I'd like to invite everyone to look in your program. Do you not have a program? Oh, okay. We're going to do a group reading this morning. Here we are, here we go. God is both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. So now we're going to have our group song. Would you stand? And Ms. Lucille is going to lead it. You have a little paper with the words on it.
Yeah, we're gonna do "When I Pray" by Daniel Nahmod, as some of y'all know, and stand if you want, or if you want to sit, it's fine. Do we need any more song sheets? There are 3 verses. I know they're small, but this way. Hey, girl. How are you? Actually, I'm gonna go like that. Anybody need a? I do. Here you go, dude. Got it? Anybody else? Here, y'all.
Anyone?
Welcome. Okay. Anybody else? You're okay? Just want to make sure everybody's got.
Huh?
Okay. Thank you for your patience. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper.
Lucille, and you guys sound like a choir. I'm impressed. All on harmony this morning. So I'd like to invite practitioner Robert Brown to come up for an inspirational reading.
Doing a selfie video today. So this reading is from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, page 117. The God within you creates every circumstance and situation you have ever experienced. You have called these circumstances and situations things in themselves, but they have never been. They have always been the fruition of your thought, and your thought has been dominated by your belief in God ever since you have had self-conscious life. Ever since you have had self-conscious thought, you have, by your use of the law of liberty, created bondage. Not that bondage really existed, but the possibility of using freedom in a limited way existed. You really never bound freedom. You merely used it in a restricted way. The restriction was not in the principle, but in your use of it. There is a difference whether you believe in actual limitation or merely in a restricted use of freedom. If limitation were a thing in itself, you could not change it. But since it is only an outline of experience, why not use your imagination to enlarge that experience? When you do this, you will find that the life principle without you responds just as quickly to a broader outline. The old outline was imaginary only, never real. It was like the horizon where the earth and sky appeared to meet. As we travel toward this apparent dead end, we find that it disappears. Whatever you mentally see and spiritually comprehend, you may objectively experience. For the God within you is not limited to any one experience. It is the creator of all experience. And so it is.
So we're going to have a solo by Miss Lucille, and then we will have our message this morning from Reverend Maurene.
The grass looked greener over yonder. I knew looks could be deceiving too. But I never took the time to look or ponder. 'Cause in my heart I just wanted something new. Look before you leap, my mama told me. Don't get in over your head. Well, if she were here right now, I know she'd scold me. 'Cause I went against everything she said. Well, I'm not yet on top of the world, but I can say I'm on my way up. I got over the shame and I'm over the pain. Back on my feet, I'm standing tall and tough. I had to leave town, folks were talking. didn't think I would survive. So I put on all I owned and I started walking, because I had to get control of my life. In my heart was still determination, and I recalled what I heard my daddy say. Turn it all to God, just turn it over. Stand up tall and make a brand new day. Well, I'm not yet on top of the world, but I can't say I'm on my way up. I got over the shame and I'm over the pain. Back on my feet, I'm standing tall and tough. Well, I'm not yet on top of the world, but I can't say I'm on my way up. I got over the shame and I'm over the pain. I'm back on my feet, I'm standing tall and tough. Back on my feet, I'm standing tall and tough. Everybody sing that. Back on my feet, I'm standing tall and tough.
Thank you, Lucille.
Bet you hung.
Great, great. Well, again, it's so nice to see all of you today. All your happy faces and one little dog. Thank you.
Oh.
And this month, Reverend Kate and I have been talking about a special book, Treat Yourself to Life by Raymond Charles Barker. He was a student of Ernest Holmes and started a religious science church in New York. Very successful writer. And, was it Michael who said you just read his prior book, which is Decision Making, amazing book, great author. So today I'm going to talk to you about a chapter from that book called Treat Yourself to Freedom. We're going to talk about what is freedom, and is there a difference between material and spiritual? We know spiritual freedom comes first. And what do you think of when you think of freedom? You know, the first thing that pops into my mind, Abraham Lincoln. You know, you have to believe that he has an amazing consciousness to write the Emancipation Proclamation, which was then used by Congress to create the 13th Amendment to the Constitution outlawing slavery. So I think of him as having this consciousness. I also think of someone else who had that consciousness, a guy named Viktor Frankl. Some of you may know, he was a survivor of a concentration camp. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a place, a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So, kind of look before you leap, before you speak. So today I'm going to talk to you about this. Are you a slave to race consciousness? Are you a slave to what society thinks you are or have been in the past? Are you afraid to let go? I know Lucille talked about that, let go and let God, to bring something greater through yourself. So what is this freedom? Before I say that, I have to tell you this. Why doesn't the United States of America have a knock-knock joke? You know, knock-knock, who's there? Because freedom rings. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said real freedom means that man is created in the image of perfection and let alone and allowed to make the discovery for himself. ourselves. And that discovery, you know, is basically the truth about ourselves, that we have this perfect pattern already in us. And Jesus said, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So Ernest says, the understanding of truth, infinite principle, is the emancipator. We're bound by our very freedom. Our free will binds us. The very force that makes us sick can heal us. And Robert said that, you know, you can misuse your creative mind for evil, for ignorance. As man realizes his oneness with creative mind, he can be released from the bondage of false thinking. So when I think of freedom, you know, I was a ballet dancer when I was young, and I was also a downhill skier. And I think of freedom, you know, for me, is just this feeling of joy. I don't know how many of you may have been skiers, but I would get off work and mostly Friday nights, they had night skiing at Mount Hood, and so I would go up there and ski. And the kids would be gone because it was late in the evening and the lights would be on, and you're skiing down a hill, a mountain, which is just almost no one's there, and it's magical at night because you're skiing, you're going pretty fast, and there's just a feeling of magic, a feeling of freedom. You feel the cold air kind of burning your cheeks, and you're gliding, and you know, when you ski, there's a rhythm you set up as you ski, and you get into it, and you become one. It's the same with ballet. You become one with the music, and I know for Lucille, if you play a musical instrument, you know, after a while, the music plays you. The music comes on, and you dance to it, you sing to it. This is that oneness, that joy, that feeling of exhilaration, of being one. I know it takes practice. You know, we talk about freedom requires vigilance. It requires, you have to think about what you're going to say to people, what you're going to do, how you're going to act, because you're creating every moment of your life. So you have to be vigilant, and you have to practice. You have to practice. I mean, Lucille didn't become a good musician by sitting around thinking about it. It's practice. And sometimes you practice all year before you get to try out for like the first position in the orchestra. Or you practice many, many years before you become an Olympic skier. You also, freedom, you have to think about freedom as being in the moment. Because what you did last week or last year, those faulty beliefs, Raymond Charles Barker said, if mankind takes his images of thought only from his previous experiences, then he continues in the bondage which those previous experiences create. So, let go of your past. Be in the present moment. Vigilance, practice now, and be brave. Be brave, because you are the beloved of the Creator. So be brave. Just allow yourself to be the best you can be. You have to have courage and faith. Because what happens is a lot of times society has what we call race consciousness. You're supposed to be a certain way. Well, you're this age, you're supposed to act that way. Okay, you can't go dancing crazy anymore. You can't, you know, it's kind of like, that's this race consciousness we have around us. And I'm just saying, don't listen to it. You know, practice, spiritual practice, they call it spiritual practice because you have to practice. You have to meditate. You know, think about meditating every day if you can. You have to read uplifting material. Be on the happy side of the road, you know. You have to make yourself affirmations. We have some affirmations on the mirror and on the refrigerator. think about it. Let your eye see that and say it. Yes, I am a positive expression of the divine in whatever your affirmation might be. So, practice. Also, just coming here today, being with people of like mind, talking about all these things that uplift you and bring you into this oneness, this alignment, because that's what we want. We want to be at one with Spirit. And you create this consciousness. That's what you're working toward. You're evolving. Every day you evolve. But you're evolving to a higher consciousness. Just like Abraham Lincoln, to a consciousness of freedom for others. And I think it's important. Your consciousness is important to you, raising your consciousness, but we share this role with everyone else. So our consciousness has to incorporate the love for everybody else. So it's like, I know Reverend Kate talked about this briefly. It's like like you had a pitcher full of mud, and you poured clear water. And pretty soon you keep pouring, and the muddy water keeps going and going. Pretty soon you have a pitcher full of clear water. That's what you want to do. You want to relax your mind and clean your mind through meditation. You want to take time to explore spirit within. You want to listen for that still small voice. You want to be one with that love that is at your core. That's who you really are. And remember, freedom is your birthright. So Ernest Holmes says, there's no sin but a mistake, no punishment but an inevitable consequence. Cause and effect. You do something, it has an effect. Evil's not a thing of itself. It is simply a misuse of the law of freedom. Evil will disappear when we no longer indulge in it. Evil's neither a person, place, or thing. It's an experience. And it's an experience which we allowed. We allowed evil in our life because of our divine individuality. And until through negative experience we learn to use it affirmatively, will we still have evil. Eventually we shall understand all human bondage is an invention of ignorance. Ever since you have had self-conscious thought, you have, by your use of the law of liberty, created bondage. Not that bondage really existed, but the possibility of using freedom in a limited way existed. You really never bound freedom, you merely used it in a restrictive way. Now I have a little once upon a time story. I don't know if you're familiar with this book, Illusions by Richard Bach. Well, it's a regular book, but in the front, there's some little handwritten notes. And I'm going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, he calls them creatures. I call them water bugs, because I like water bugs. I like bugs. So I'm going to tell you a story about the liberation of the water bug. And I want you to think about, the river is kind of an analogy for the flow of spirit through us. And this was written originally by Richard Bach with some changes by a couple of New Thought people, Jack Boland and Reverend Tom Sanner. Once upon a time, there lived a village of water bugs along the bottom of a great crystal river. The current of the river swept silently over them all, rich and poor, good and evil, young and old. Sometimes the current was strong and swift, and the little bugs would dig down into the mud in order to survive. Sometimes the current was soft and gentle, and they would come out and cling to the rocks along the bottom. So their way of life was digging in the mud, clinging to the rocks or twigs, and clinging was their way of life. And the current had been learned from their birth. One day, one water bug said to another, "I'm tired of the mud, I'm tired of digging, I'm tired of clinging. I shall trust the current. I have faith in the current. Even though I can't see it with my eyes, I shall let go, let it take me where it will." The other water bugs laughed and they called her a fool. They said, "If you let go, the current's going to smash you against the rocks and you'll die. Hey, here's some new self-help books. Hey, you got it at the bookstore. How to cling in spite of it all. Learning to love the mud. Read them and be content. After all, who do you think you are?" But this water bug did not heed their warning. She felt a deep desire. She proclaimed her desire. She spoke her word. And taking a deep breath, she let go. The current took her away. It tumbled and she was smashed against the rocks. But you know, water bugs have thick shells. So in time, as she finally released the bottom, the current lifted her up and she was bruised and hurt no more. She refused to cling again. And she passed other water bugs downstream. Some of them hid. They were frightened, and some of them marveled at the way she floated. She was floating. She was flying. They said, "Look it, it's the Messiah. She floats without effort. She's a water bug, yet she flies." She says, "No, I am not any more than Messiah than you. You can do what I'm doing by releasing, letting go. The river delights to lift us free." Doesn't that sound familiar, like a certain master teacher, Jesus, who said, "What I do, you can do, and greater still"? She said, "If only you dare to let go. Our work is this voyage, this adventure." But they wanted a savior, so they clung more tightly to the rocks. And when the river swept her beyond their view, they made up stories and legends and holy books and nestled back down into the mud. Finally, she came to a place, a turn in the river where the current was very gentle. And she met other water bugs who had taken the same journey, who were willing to risk and let go. They had been moved out of their two-dimensional mud and were free floating. They allowed the river to nourish them by simply letting the water flow through them. They found if they simply opened themselves up to the river provided them with everything they needed. And in this area of the river, she rested and became friends with other water bugs, and she told her story of her journey and her life. And they formed groups, and they studied books, how to float in spite of being a water bug, the 12 steps of water bug consciousness, the Tao of water buggery, and they were content. And she was happy for a while, but guess what happened? One day, she saw a stem that grew up from the bottom of the river, and it seemed to disappear. And she said to the others, what's up with the stem? And they answered, "Oh, don't go near there. Once a water bug crawled up that stem, and we never saw him again." Despite warnings, guess what she did? She felt that same deep desire, and saying goodbye to her friends, she began to climb the stem. And whenever she got a little tired, the current of the river would nudge her higher. Finally, she reached the top, and she entered a new environment, a new dimension, something she couldn't describe, she had never experienced in her life. She felt a new and a different kind of current. Her body began to warm with a new sensation. She didn't know it, but she was smack dab on the top of a lily pad, and a gentle breeze was caressing her. Rays of the sun were warming her body. And as she lay there in peace and serenity, contemplating the goodness and wonder of this new dimension, something began began to happen to her body. The cold, hard shell that had encased her, that had served her well on her journey, began to crack. At first she was frightened. Was she dying? It seemed like her body was falling apart. But as the crusty shell began to break open, she felt an inner movement, a quiet trembling, as beautiful net-like wings began to expose themselves to the sunlight. She lay there for a few more minutes, and in the awe and wonder of her new experience, she was merging in the majesty of her new life, becoming one, incorporating her consciousness into her new body. And then she began to experience herself rising, feeling the air mingling with her new wings, and before her very eyes, she saw herself transformed into a glistening green dragonfly flying out into the morning sky. So, in closing, I just want to remind you again the importance of freedom, allowing yourself to chart your own course. Allow you, even if your body changes, and it does every day, to be a new you, to explore that new dimension. And yes, it takes patience and time to be free, and it takes a new consciousness. And it's that moment of oneness that brings us to the flow of the river, the flow of life within it. I am free. I listen to the still small voice. I practice using the law of liberation. Through intuition, I make wise decisions. I am joyful and loving. This is spiritual freedom. So it is.
So it is.
Sometimes I'm right, I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in this song. A butcher, a baker, a drummer, and then makes no difference what about them. 'Cause I'm everyday people. And neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can't figure out the scene I'm in. 'Cause I'm everyday people, I'm everyday people. Let's do that again. 'Cause everyday people. There is a long man that doesn't like the short man for being such a rich one that will not help the poor one. That's from the great philosopher Sly and the Family Stone. Great, one of the best songs ever.
Yes. Well, thank you. Wonderful. And this is our time for conscious giving. So we have other ways of giving. You can send a check into the church. I use Venmo. You can use Tidely. You can use PayPal. You can give right here. So we have many different ways. And just to let you know what's on the horizon next month, we're going to be talking about spiritual economics. We're going to be talking about unknown income, surprise income. So we're going to start getting ready for consciousness of letting the universe give us surprises. So if you want to hold your gift or your hands on your heart and just repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, and all that I circulate. For this I give gratitude. So it is.
So it is. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am
Thank you. And now Reverend Amandra will give a closing.
So, just allow our eyes to close, putting us in that oneness. Right here, right now, I'm knowing there's one power, one presence in this universe. That power and presence is the glue. It is infinite intelligence. It is love. That love circulates through us, in us, around us. We are in that flow. And right here, right now, I speak my word with power, knowing that as we leave this place today, we leave it in a consciousness of freedom. A consciousness of letting go and allowing ourselves to just flow freely in that divine intelligence, in that substance of love. Knowing that where we flow this week is going to be the perfect place. We simply allow ourselves to be. We accept the fact that we are safe. We are protected. And there is nothing outside of us that can harm that perfect peace that is within us. We leave this place today in a state of freedom. Understanding and knowing that we are one with the divine. We are interconnected and that we are not caught up in the race consciousness that would remove us from our true place, our divine entity of being free, a divine being. We claim that freedom today. And as we stand in this place, I am so grateful that we came together today, that we leave here with this powerful message today. And I simply anchor these words, for I know that each and every one of us received exactly what it is that we are to have as a message for our life today. I simply anchor these words. We release them into the creative power of the universe, knowing that they will continue to be with us as we leave this place today. And I invite you to anchor these words with me by simply saying, and so it is. Let us stand, we do our closing song.
Open your heart, let your love go free, out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers. Can't stop love once you get it started. Watch what it does. It'll go full circle. You can't stop love. Open your heart. Let your love go free. Out over the ocean, right across the street. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers. You can't stop love once you get it started. Watch what it does. It'll go full circle. You can't stop love.
Thank you, everyone. Please join us for fellowship. And I want to see the practitioners and myself. I want to do some prayer treatments. We have chairs set up. Somebody come up and ask me for a prayer treatment. Okay? That's what we're all about. Thank you.
Come